For how comfortable I am with sharing my emotions with the audience, I would say pretty uncomfortable. Usually when I speak, I kind of shut off most emotions. I just kind of accidentally go pretty monotone with it. Maybe a little bit of excitement, but other than that, really not much. Like excitement if I'm trying to hard sell something for like a persuasive speech, but never really delving into it too much. And if there's certain emotions that are easier to share than others, I definitely say it's always, at least for me, easier to share like happiness or excitement than sadness or anything like that. It's hard to open up to people that you don't really know, or even people that you do know. It's always challenging, especially in something like a speech where you already have some nerves flowing and all that. So whenever I feel any of the nerves flowing, I kind of just like shut them all off. So it's definitely easier for some to go out, like happiness or any of that, because it's also easier to fake. You can't really fake sadness. So once you do that, kind of just everything goes to shambles, at least for me. And as my family and culture encourage me to share emotions, I would say probably not for the most part. It's just kind of how it is a lot of times growing up. It's like the whole be a man thing and all that. And I definitely think growing up at least took that heart pretty heavily. And now it's just not too many emotions left in some regard. How do you tend to respond when you see other people share their emotions? I'd say it depends on the situation. It's a situation where it's fine to. I really no response or indifference. If it's a speech, I'm obviously more moved by it if they're showing emotion. Other than that, really nothing. Sometimes I do think people show emotions when it's not always necessary, but almost all the time I think it's pretty fine. I think that's all just personal bias, and I kind of acknowledge that whenever I notice that. I kind of like tell myself that. Do you think I'd be a more effective speaker if I were trying to more willing to share appropriate emotions? I would say definitely would be a more effective speaker. It's something I want to work on because a lot of times when I speak, there's kind of like no motion in it and kind of goes monotone just because it's hard for me to do that. I want to work on that with this speech. I don't think I'm doing very well with that if I'm being honest. Just because I can only really do that if it's something I'm really passionate about. And it's hard to kind of fake that kind of passion in a way. Because like the ceremonial speech, it's not a real ceremony, Kind of got to set it up. Maybe I can do little mind games to myself, convince myself it is or something, get some emotion flowing, but it's honestly hard for me to get any kind of like that emotion on a speech or just in general. I'm usually pretty just relaxed and kind of the same. But I do think if I can do that, it would definitely make my speeches more effective.